I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love.
God, this is so tough. Whoever came up with this title, give this guy a freaking raise. Tell me how this is not awesome. Astronaut. Astronaut.
Katy Perry was quoted as saying, "We're putting the ass in astronauts." Okay, all right. You go, girl. This is so...
This is why she needs empowering, because she keeps revealing her stupidity like that, and we have to boost her back up.
How much do we not want this rocket to return to Earth?
Hollywood has always had a talent for turning vacuum-sealed vanity projects into epoch-shaping sagas. But even Tinseltown's thick-skinned chroniclers were left slack-jawed when a chart-topping pop star squeezed herself into a billionaire's.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Bro.
Stop the cap. Stupid.
Let me tell you right now, Katie, you're officially an astronaut.
I guess I'm a freaking brain surgeon then. I couldn't believe, wow. I can't believe she even said. How do you even format your lips to say something so stupid?
Hobby rocket for an eye-blink jaunt above the clouds, and came back certain she had just rewritten space history. Picture it. A sub-orbital hop lasting barely longer than it takes to microwave a frozen burrito, yet outrolled the red carpet, the Gladiator soundtrack, and a publicist's press kit so earnest it could give a Hallmark card diabetes. Katy Perry, flashing a daisy like it was the torch of Prometheus, kissed the dusty West Texas dirt, declared herself one with the cosmos, and instantly birthed 1,000 memes, most featuring budget airline landings scored to circus music. Somewhere in a nameless NASA break room, real astronauts attempted not to choke on their powdered coffee, because nothing screams 21st century progress like dubbing an 11-minute tourist ride the next chapter of the moon race.
And real astronauts are extremely intelligent scientists who've been tested to the limits of their physical and mental fitness. But this was really not women in space. It was stupid people in space. This was the lowest IQ space crew that has ever been launched from Earth.
The frenzy might have fizzled there if the Federal Aviation Administration had not politely clarified that, no, celebrity passengers on Blue Origin do not receive the coveted gold star labeled astronaut. This was the moment the internet collectively raised an eyebrow and whispered, "Participation trophies, but make it orbital." Katy's Cosmic Awakening press tour, previously scheduled to glide on a cloud of hashtags and designer jumpsuits, suddenly hit turbulence. Late-night hosts recycled the same punchline, Armstrong walked so influencers could selfie, while TikTok stitched her teary interviews into edits more dramatic than a telenovela finale.
Right, it's so amazing. Like, they went to see space. We're supposed to see them, right? Like, they admired the universe, and what they were expecting was for us to admire the fact that they were rich enough and famous enough to have been granted this utterly, utterly vacuous experience from which they learned absolutely nothing.
Still, our heroine doubled down, rolling cameras, on soul-searching vlogs, complete with slow-motion shots of her lifting that symbolic daisy to the heavens as if single-handedly photosynthesizing world peace. If you are enjoying this carnival of comically misplaced gravitas so far, drop a quick comment telling us your favorite accidental comedy moment in celebrity history. Your thumb-typed wisdom keeps the algorithm's hungry maw well-fed. Enter the unflinching buzzsaw of Springfield. Somewhere in the Simpsons writer's room, someone spilled the cosmic tea. The Yellow Clan was planning its most savage celebrity roast in years, a 50-centimeter tall Katy bouncing around zero gravity, while Lisa frantically consults a checklist titled Things That Actually Matter in Space.
However, there's been some critics saying some stuff in it.
Really?
Rob, I don't know if you have any of the critic stuff or not. Do you have any of this stuff on how they open a door first and then they have to reopen the door and they have to say, go back in there, and then Jeff Bezos falls. Poor guy's tripping. He's having a hard time.
Insiders leaked storyboard sketches of cartoon Katy clutching that daisy like it was the last rose on The Bachelor, sobbing cosmic epiphanies as Mission Control stared in silent horror. Even jaded Hollywood bloggers had to admit the premise was comedic gold shot straight into the sun. But when word reached Team Katy, the mood in Malibu flipped from crystals and gratitude journals to red alert sirens.
Which one is this, Rob? Tell us.
This is the door being open from the inside.
Watch this.
What's going to come out of
They're not supposed to open the door yet.
her
Look, they're like, close the door!
No, not yet. Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see. That is
I have to
correct.
pee.
That is Jeff Bezos, our founder.
He has to step up with the official doohickey thing.
Lawyers fired off rapid-fire emails accusing the network of a targeted character assassination. Think about that for a second. Trying to cancel a series that has lampooned 4 United States presidents, multiple popes, and even itself. That is the showbiz version of attempting to out-yell a megaphone. The threats landed in Fox's inbox with all the heft of a glitter-bombed cease and desist. But instead of backing off, insiders say the writers merely sharpened their pencils. After all, controversy is free marketing, and The Simpsons has served 30-plus years of it like a bored lifeguard at Malibu.
Flynn, I gotcha. Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
Doing a whole bunch of nothing.
Watching her. Look, I brought my little butterfly.
Meanwhile, Katy's camp mulled its next move. One faction begged her to laugh along, arguing that a self-aware wink could pivot the narrative and maybe even sell a few extra stream downloads. The other half advocated nuclear retaliation, a waterproof documentary, working title Cosmic Bloom, complete with violin-soaked confessionals and exclusive footage of her allegedly praying atop the booster before liftoff. The risk, of course, was obvious. Nothing says I am totally calm, like releasing a meticulously edited doc aimed at silencing snark before it airs. Behind the scenes, Jeff Bezos reportedly developed second thoughts about turning his science project into a celebrity carousel. Sources swear he quipped at a private cocktail mixer that next time he would send Snoop Dogg because at least the guy understands chill mode under pressure. That throwaway line cracked fresh fault lines in the Blue Origin boardroom. What was supposed to be a giant leap for corporate philanthropists had mutated into a punchline about billionaire vanity, complete with news anchors debating whether a $400 million rocket launch could be eclipsed by one pop star's hunger for spiritual rebranding.
Worst part is when
There's people starving in other countries and we're clapping and cheering. Bro, this is wild. And then Katy Perry steps out, starts kissing the ground. Bro, the stories write themselves. Like, we are living in a Black Mirror episode. Like, what is this, bro?
Investors, straining to keep smiles glued on, watched the mission's supposed STEM inspiration angle shrivel into an Instagram reel of flashbulbs, faux zen monologues, and a very confused Federal Aviation Administration spokesperson. Public opinion splintered faster than a budget selfie stick. Hardcore fans defended Katy's journey of love, insisting critics simply lacked the emotional IQ to grasp higher consciousness cultivated at 3,000 kilometers per hour. Detractors countered that the entire spectacle was tone-deaf claptrap, pointing out that a ticket costing more than most college educations might be the least relatable route to planetary empathy.
Rob, what else you got? Because there's a bunch of them.
I have Gayle King claiming that it was sexist.
Go ahead and play this clip. Go ahead, Rob.
I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride. We actually duplicated the route that Alan Shepard did. That's why it's called, this particular capsule is called the New Shepard. We duplicated that route. No one said he took that ride. Yeah. It's always referred to as a flight or a journey. So I feel that that's a little disrespectful to what the mission was and what the work that Blue Origin does.
They went on a
space
mission.
technology.
Memes mushroomed, Katy parachuting into a therapy circle of actual astronauts, Bezos face-palming in mission control, Homer Simpson labeling the capsule a cosmic Uber. Each new parody breathed fresh life into a story the pop star desperately wanted to bury under glitter and empowerment slogans. Yet the most delicious irony arrived when Katy's legal thunder cracked so loudly it jolted barbershop philosophers into asking the evergreen question, has no one learned the Streisand lesson? Trying to gag The Simpsons is like trying to unplug the ocean with a cocktail straw. Every cease and desist letter merely pours rocket fuel onto the hype, guaranteeing the eventual episode will pull ratings that dwarf her actual viewership during halftime shows. Even veteran PR handlers admitted off-record that the only winning move might have been silence. Instead, Katy's attempts at control painted a portrait of frantic self-importance, which is catnip for late-night hosts and social media satire accounts.
I have no doubt that it was a cool experience. It was not historic or significant in any way, but it was still, I'm sure, cool. More than cool, it must have been profound and quite moving. It's a shame then that it was wasted on a woman with the wisdom and intellectual depth of a newborn poodle.
Meanwhile, in the digital trenches, fans and critics traded barbs. One camp framed her as a trailblazer unfairly bullied by a cynical cartoon empire, the other as the poster child for influencer hubris. A middle faction just enjoyed the ride, popcorn in hand, marveling at how swiftly a mission to inspire. Millions devolved into the messiest reality episode never filmed. Katy, sensing her halo slipping, floated trial balloons of contrition on morning talk shows. I respect the legacy of real astronauts, but even those mea culpas carried the whiff of brand salvage, not genuine revelation. As one commentator quipped, when your spiritual awakening merch drops on the same day as your apology tour, maybe the universe is sending mixed signals. Behind closed doors, The Simpsons writers polished punchlines with savage precision. One rumored scene features cartoon Katy hosting an interstellar press conference inside the capsule, only to realize the microphone is a floating barf bag. Another gag has Bart labeling her the first verified hashtaganaut, prompting Lisa to deliver a lecture on what real scientific milestones look like. When preview animatics leaked, #Simpsonaut trended by breakfast, leaving Katy's lawyers scrambling to patch the latest hole in a ship already taking on water. Every frantic legal maneuver answered the question, how bad can it get? With hold my freeze-dried latte. At this fever pitch, Katy's advisors staged a summit. The conciliatory camp proposed a tongue-in-cheek TikTok duet with Homer, maybe even donating a chunk of rocket memorabilia to a STEM charity. The Scorched Earth crew insisted on litigation so fearsome it would deter future mockery. The pop star paced the line between good sport and goddess wronged, each step tweeting fresh headlines. In the interim, late-night podcasters like Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon unleashed monologues so blistering they melted YouTube's closed captioning algorithm. Rogan famously barked, "You spent 11 minutes in the sky and came back preaching cosmic enlightenment? I drive longer than that for coffee." The crowd cheered, clips went viral, and the phrase rocket ride guru lodged in public consciousness like gum on a sneaker.